If there's one thing that I feel super passionate about, it's developing great Scrum Masters who'll develop great teams. I think it's one of the most poorly understood and leveraged role in the Agile world. And it can be so powerful when you get the right Scrum Masters with the right amount of passion for their job.
Start with even less Scrum, sort of a lean Scrum, or sort of a Scrum on a diet kind of thing. So we start with just the iteration, just having a 2-week stint with a moment at the end for review. And that sort of it fuels and it generates everything else.
And you guys already mentioned that, like, we shouldn't do like copy paste, just applying something that people don't understand, because success is much more.
I like when people create their own environment where they are the master of what they are doing. Of course, you need somebody helping them, because otherwise you invent something that doesn't work.
In a lot of the early safe collateral that Dean had, he would say we stand on the shoulders of giants. Because, if you look back at, where was the beginning of SAFe, and the first book Dean published, Scaling Software Agility, I think it was about 2007. He went through 15 or so commonly used Agile methods and said, what's the heart of the method? What are the contexts it works well in? You've got to go back and you've got to tap into that basic stuff. Because if you haven't got Agile teams, you haven't got nothing when it comes to scale.
At the end, you have somebody serving tea and not helping the people developing. So you need people who have the passion to develop other people's. You need to find people who are coaches.
The role of a Scrum Master doesn't come naturally. What Mark just said is, typically the expectation is that the Scrum Master is indeed somebody that has a technical background, but also has the sort of the interest and maybe the natural ability to create a team. There's always this one person who is just spending a little bit more time in helping others to do their job and to do it well. But for me personally, the need of a good Scrum Master and the right type of Scrum Master, it need to be experienced first before it's understood.
Find people who are interested and take them on the journey. But at the same time, you've got to know what an amazing Scrum Master looks like. And you've got to find those amazing Scrum Masters. And it's not the ones who proudly tell you they're certified.
I remember one of the coaches telling me, you can't create legends. Legends emerge over the time.
Yeah.
Finding the right people and let them have an evolutionary path, becoming this awesome Scrum Master or team coach, right?
The Agile that I learned a long time before team topologies came out, we talked about two types of Agile teams. We talked about feature teams and component teams. And feature teams had all the skills to do end-to-end value, and they were good. And component teams had all the skills to build widgets, and they were bad. It was a very binary, polarizing view of the world.
I really love that they give us a vocabulary to distinguish between a 0 and 1 and say there's more.
Not the greatest of all time. No, they became the greatest of all teams because they were the few teams that had even the ability to develop something end to end. Trying to break the wall between the different engineering disciplines, yes, huge value in that. Well, in the end, I think as a team, the ability to build some form of a rhythm and getting feedback by delivering value would probably be my choice out of all of the responsibilities of a team.
Working with a team, you've got to start with delivering value. Everything else in the responsibility wheel contributes to delivering value.
I guess you've taken the words out of my mouth. Zombie Scrum doesn't work. It's funny. My one sentence would be to stay humble, to just stay humble. Your team knows how to work better than you.
In my case, it's nothing beats an Agile team if it's organized and reorganized or around value.
If you don't have great teams, you'll never have great arts. What's the percentage of time that team members are interested in what each other's saying? There's a lot of whole teams activities in Agile. If you're not really a team, if you're a bunch of individuals, you spend a lot of time very bored in those conversations and they're low value. So it's a pretty interesting measure to have, I think.